thank you for coming. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your organization?
Yes, Commissioner, thank you for having me. I'm Sean Seipler. I'm the founder and CEO of Clean the World. We are a global social enterprise impact organization. So we create impact products that companies purchase and implement in order to make the world a better place.
How did your frequent travels and experiences in hotels inspire the creation of Clean the World?
When I was thinking about starting my own business and doing my own thing, and I was thinking as an entrepreneur in terms of environmentalism, sustainability, and I was looking for items of waste. So in that hotel room that I was in all the time, I had a lot of time to think about what items were wasteful when I was done using that hotel room. And that sort of led to the thinking about Clean the World.
Can you share the moment when you realized hotel soap can be recycled?
Yes. So I was on a business trip to Minneapolis where I went to frequently. And as a native Floridian with very thin blood, when you are in Minneapolis in the middle of February, you stay in your hotel room and bundle up and usually have a cocktail in order to stay warm. On one of those nights, I was thinking about things of waste. And I wondered what happened to the bar of soap and bottle of shampoo when I was done using it, because when I traveled from one city to the next, I never took that soap and shampoo with me. So I called the front desk and asked what happened to the soap when I was done using it. They kind of chuckled and I said, no, really, what happens? And they said it was thrown away. So I thought that was interesting. So I went to my laptop and I did some quick research and determined that at that time there were 4.6 million hotel rooms in the United States. We had about a 60% occupancy rate. And based on the average stay, if all hotels were throwing their soap away, we were throwing away 1 million bars of soap every day. So I thought that was interesting and did further research on how to recycle soap. And I found very simple ways to melt the bars down and reform new bars, which is called rebatching. So then that became interesting. And the next thing then became, okay, what would I do with recycled soap? And that was really when I found the aha moment for Clean the World. I found a number of studies that all showed that back then in 2009, there were 9,000 children under the age of 5 dying every day to pneumonia and diarrheal disease, the number one and number two leading cause of death amongst children worldwide. And all these studies showed that if we just gave them soap and taught them how and when to wash their hands, we could cut those deaths in half. So that was the moment that Clean the World really was birthed in my mind and eventually to the world.
So one trip down the rabbit hole led to another, led to another.
That's right. And just continue to think about it and research and went on a track that was purpose driven. Here's a thing of waste, soap, that can save children's lives around the world. And so that, I think, also gave the motivation and the inspiration to continue to go down that rabbit hole.
How can individuals or local businesses in Orange County get involved with Clean the World?
Well, today, thousands of individuals and corporations across Orange County are involved and can continue to be involved. And they can come out to our Recycling Operational Center, which is located at 2544 East Land Street, Suite 600. We're located close to the airport. And there we have a really awesome and fun volunteer center. So they can come volunteer anytime. They can get their hands dirty recycling soap. We sort bottles and plastic. We sort soap out from plastic. And then once the soap is remanufactured, we have to box the soap in order to be sent out to those in need locally and around the world. We also have really unique opportunities. For example, very soon we are building hygiene kits for those impacted in Hawaii after the wildfire. So we have some really big volunteer events coming up where folks can come to the recycling center and build hygiene kits and actually put bags together of soap and shampoo, conditioner, toothbrush, toothpaste to be able to help those in need. And of course, we do respond to all natural disasters. So after hurricanes and tornadoes, those opportunities are available as well. So residents can check cleantheworld.org to get the address and all the details and sign up to come volunteer.
What were some of the challenges that you faced in building this organization, and how did you overcome them?
Early on, the challenges, like in all businesses, I believe, was how are we going to make money? How are we going to bring in the necessary revenue and cash to support this mission? So in 2009, I thought we would be a nonprofit and we would solicit donations in order to operate this mission. However, in 2009, the global economy was in a really tough spot, and I was not very good at donations and raising money because I'd never done it before. In addition, the business required capital. We needed to buy machines and boxes, and we needed to ship product, and we needed to do things that had to happen in order to operate hotels across the nation. So, what we needed to figure out was our business model and our approach. So, that took a bit. And what came out of it is a social enterprise, which combines both a 501c3 and a for profit B Corp. We are actually Florida's first B Corp that came into existence in 2013, which is a for profit company that has a mission focused in its charters and bylaws. And we developed a model whereby hotels would pay for our impact products. So they pay us in order to recycle their soap and their plastic in order to protect the environment and save lives. And so not only do we take that product from them and recycle it, but we give them impact reporting. So they know exactly how much landfill diversion they've had, how much carbon offset and water offset and energy saved. They know how many refugees they've served and how many hand washes they've handed out. And so that's very valuable information for them to share with their consumers and their employees and their shareholders. So that's how we really made a business out of collecting soap and recycling soap to save lives.
Are there any new projects or initiatives that Clean the World is working on that you can share with our audiences?
Yeah, so over the last 14 years, we've become an impact product organization. So after creating the soap and plastic recycling product, we created the hygiene kit builds, which are team building volunteer events that can be put on all across the world, where companies will come together and build hygiene kits or backpacks or comfort kits to donate to those in need. We also have mobile hygiene units. We actually have a Fresh Start Wash and Wellness mobile hygiene unit right here in Orange County, funded by Orange County. They give showers to those experiencing homelessness to help them get on the continuum from homeless to homed. So in addition to showers, we have wraparound services that will assist those with things like getting an ID or temporary housing or temporary job placement or those types of services that can help them. So we look for impact products. We have a new one we're working on with college campuses to help teach and support social entrepreneurship with an experiential learning component. We are also working on circular plastic. So we're seeing more and more plastic coming out of hotels, more and more large format dispensers. So we are taking that plastic and recycling it into new products. And so we're in product development right now for the new products that we can create out of the recycled plastic.
Can't wait to see what comes out of that.
Yes. It's some really cool things we're working on.
How has this work changed your perspective on waste, hygiene, and entrepreneurship?
First of all, in the last 14 years, my mind with respect to sustainability and climate change and those things has really shifted. I mean, we live in a world where the populations continue to increase and resources continue to be limited. So when we think about reuse and recycling and upcycling, I think those are very important concepts. I think we're doing a great job teaching our young students and our children about those concepts because it will be up to them to address a lot of the overuse and overwaste that is occurring today. We need to keep our water systems clean and fresh. We need to protect our forest and our our environment. So what I really have enjoyed is the combination of entrepreneurship and social and environmental causes. So that's dubbed social entrepreneurship. And so I've enjoyed speaking at hundreds of colleges across the globe, including Harvard, on social entrepreneurship and seeing this combination, especially in young people, where they want to create great companies, great businesses that have great business technique and acumen, but they want to do it with purpose in mind, with some sort of environmental or social impact. And so I see within the realm of conscious capitalism, I see companies that want to spend money and will support endeavors, programs, products, services that will also drive a social and environmental impact. And I think that leads to a tremendous opportunity within the realm of social entrepreneurship and conscious capitalism.
I am sure everyone is wondering, how do you recycle soap? So we're going to go through the process. I'm going to show us how we do that. And I'm going
Yes.
to have a couple of questions for you, another question for you as well while we do this.
Perfect.
All right. What's the first step?
So the first step is soap collection.
Okay,
And
so we got this one pretty much
That's
in the
right.
right spot.
that happens every day at over 8,000 hotels across the globe, 1.4 million hotel rooms. The room attendants, when you're done using the room, are collecting the soap and the bottles into bags, putting those into boxes those boxes will get shipped into a Clean the World recycling center, which we have in Orlando, Las Vegas, Montreal, Punta Cana, Amsterdam, and in Hong Kong.
And what's the next one?
So the next step is going to be soap sorting. And that's where we're going to sort out all of the plastic and anything that we do not want to put into the machines. And so sometimes that's done by volunteers. Now, the sorting is done fairly well at the property level, where they will put plastic in plastic boxes and soap in soap boxes, but sometimes they combine it. And if they combine it, when it comes into our recycling center, our volunteers will help us sort all the soap out from all the plastic so we can start taking soap down one road and plastic down another.
What's the next step?
All right, so with the soap, once it's sorted, we then have to refine it. And the refining process does a couple of very important things. Number one, the refiner has a very, very fine filter in it. And that filter catches all of the external particles. So paper, hair, plastic, dirt. That refiner filter is really catching all of that. The other thing that the refiner is doing is it's mixing all the soap together, and it's really getting the first opportunity for us to get a really good mix of the soap, and then it's turning it into a noodle. And so it's circling around, and it's almost coming out like spaghetti noodles. And again, those are all important in the process of remanufacturing the bar of soap.
Okay. And after that?
After that, we're going to do soap sterilization. So this is the next step, soap sterilization. And so this is really where the soap noodles that have come out of the refiner now go into a traditional soap manufacturing machine. And so the first thing is they're put into a mixer. And in the mixer, we're mixing all that soap again, kind of batching it together. And we're also putting a sterilization solution in. So we actually put very diluted bleach in just to sterilize. Now, to be clear, the soap does not need a sterilization product. When soap heats up, cools down, heats up, cools down, which it does multiple times in this process, it sterilizes itself, but we add this just to be safe. So the soap gets mixed up in sterilization solution. It then goes up a conveyor belt and drops into what's called a duplex plotter, which is a machine that basically puts all that soap together and squishes it down, and it ultimately pulls it out of the end of a nose cone that puts it into one square little bar that will then go into a cutter, which will cut it up, put our logo on it, stamp our logo on it, and then come off the conveyor belt to be boxed up by our volunteers.
So was that the soap bar making?
That's soap bar making. So I jumped ahead on you. That's right. And so that's exactly right. After it's mixed up and it goes into that duplex plotter, and that's the type of machine that's going to be found at all soap manufacturers across the globe. So now that we have cleaned it, we have noodled it, and we have mixed sterilization, we then take that same base product, which would come out of any soap manufacturing plant, and we've turned that into a new bar of soap just like they would. And then, of course, our last step is on a regular basis, about a quarterly basis, we just send a batch of soap we pull out randomly, and we send it down to a testing organization, which will test to ensure that it is safe and clean and that there are no harmful particles on it. We have a 100% clean bill of health over the last 14 years, so it is safe. I use it myself at home, and we do go through that extra step of testing it just to make sure.
And before I let you go, you do have a soap museum.
That's right. Yes, we have the world's largest soap museum at our recycling operational center. So when you come to volunteer, you can also go to the soap museum. At the soap museum, you're going to find some really cool things. We have a soap bar from the 1700s. We have the entire history of soap and how it started on Mount Sapo in 79 AD. We have advertisements. We have washer machines from the late 1800s and the early 1900s. We show the entire history of soap, how things like soap operas relate to soap, how the soap derbies relate to soap. We even have a really cool thing for baseball fans. Believe it or not, Wrigley Field, where the Chicago Cubs play. And you think about Wrigley Field, you think about gum. Well, that was not really the first product that Wrigley created. And so If it's in our soap museum, you can probably imagine what that first product was. So some really cool things in that soap museum to get a really good understanding of the history. So schools love it, programs, we have universities, elementary schools. So anybody of all ages, the soap museum is for you.
Is there any call to action that you would like to leave our viewers with?
Yeah, so we'd love viewers to come support Clean the World. Go to cleantheworld.org. Your companies and organizations can order hygiene kit boxes to build hygiene kits to donate to local homeless shelters. You can put them in our mobile hygiene units to donate to those in need, those experiencing homelessness right here in Orange County. Come to our recycling center, our volunteer center, and be involved with us. And certainly our nonprofit, our 501c3, always takes financial donations and would love any and all donations that anybody could make. So we do appreciate it. Also, when you stay in a hotel, make sure they're recycling their soap and their plastic with Clean the World.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.